Hi guys, Lenormand time. So this is going to be mid-May to mid of June. So this is actually one of my favorites, if not the favorite. My steady clients just like, do Lenormand cat, please do Lenormand. It kind of like tells you, hey, look left and look right. This is who might be anticipating what can happen. You know, with Lenormand you get lots of things that you kind of like we hope for the best, but we prepare for the worst. And this is sort of like almost telling you kind of like, hey, jump over this, etc., etc. So also really quickly, the school is starting on the 15th. So last call for this, kind of like check my website, cattara.ca, and check kind of like the schooling schedule. The second thing, my speed up promotion is still on, which is awesome. Instead of 3 weeks, you kind of get a reading within a week. And I also upgraded Rush, so instead of 7, you get it in 3 days. And Urgent, which used to be 3 days turnaround, now you get it in 24 hours. So if you kind of like really want to get a reading, this is a really good time, because one thing that I miss in Canada is spring. We kind of transition from winter to the summer. So just a couple of weeks ago we had a snowstorm, and now my air conditioning is working like full force. So hence I'm going to be spending some actual time with myself and with my close ones in the summer. So kind of like try to squeeze in yourself in time. And so I also wished happy birthday and happy belated birthdays to all Tauruses, as well as the birthdays for Geminis, who will be also celebrating during this period. So without much further ado, guys, I also ask you to please like, share, subscribe, and comment, and all the best. Love you. Hi Aquarius, and welcome to your Lenormand May-June reading. This is a general reading, and if you are actually landing here at any other time, this probably is the right time for you to kind of like see it, because vibrations are attracting. Now I'm looking at the energies in between the partners, and also these two significators, the lady and the gentleman. I treat as gender neutral, and I have cat hair right here. Treat as gender neutral, so any of them can be you, or both of them can be you, or both of them can be the other people, because you kind of like might be inquiring about somebody else, and I have cross watchers. With that disclaimer, let's kind of jump in. It's kind of like few storylines that I have here which are very interesting. Another thing is like very interesting with kind of like location of the things over here. So my dear Aquarius, it kind of like shows me that there was a situation in the past that kind of like I see two actually different storylines, like something that has been so exciting and something from the past, kind of like blast from the past coming to the surface. But then somebody kind of like stepped in, because we have the snake, and somebody kind of like came from the left field, and I don't know, maybe somebody kind of like had the rightful claim, because I see the ring and the tower, so somebody had ring on a finger. Whether this was like us or somebody else, that's kind of interesting, because it also was the heart and the key over here. It could have been a situation with relocation of something being a little kind of distance. But I also see this whole situation kind of like working out, or rather to say not working out, almost like somebody was saying, these are my legal rights, right? And I love you, and hence you're staying with me. But there was lots of communication. Like you see, the stars is in the book. And the book is kind of like a really interesting card, because we don't know what this book is hiding, right? And the stars is definitely communication. It was something, because look at this person, like right on the bottom of the reading, the snake. So sometimes we have the third party, and always the third person is the snake, whether you are the main squeeze or not. Kind of like I've seen something here going through, because the very first card is the card of loyalty, and I don't know any other sign more loyal than Aquarius. And I know I'm going to be blasted for this by all of you who have been burned and scorned by these bad Aquarians who shouldn't be really ever uttering that name. But trust me, the real ones who are really trying to be good are really extremely loyal, and kind of like even to the point that we would really harm ourselves than do something that kind of like can kind of like do something to somebody else. Because I do see that in the past there was a situation of somebody coming to the scene, interfering with the system, with something that has been kind of already like anchored, something that has kind of like worked for a while. And then the whole thing started to kind of like mess up, because we have here the tower in the house of the garden, and this is in the house of the tower. So the shift maybe somebody was committed in a relationship, but that kind of like shifted, that kind of like got cut off. And almost like sounds to me, Aquarians, you have been the one who kind of did it, and kind of like off you go, you're back to the pond. I kind of like don't care. Because look at this, like it was lots of, I would say, sinister things that came your way. Maybe you even felt that the partner was the fox, and somebody sly, maybe somebody not honest, maybe somebody not really telling the entire truth. The interesting here is, like, you see, cutting this partner off. And that person here that I'm talking about, that something or somebody, some situation or somebody was here from the past. It was a karmic lesson, and believe it or not, you guys think you're over it. It's still, the lesson is still going on. But the good news is, like, it's at the crossroads. So, and the crossroads is in the house of the clouds, which means the clouds being in the heights of the sky. So you see, it keeps coming back. We keep coming to the same spot. So the crossroads means that there is a decision that we have to make. Are we kind of like going to leave it where it was, which I think there was something that has been kind of like put to rest, right? This all communication and kind of like wishing upon the star, this big love that was supposed to look like end up in a marriage, or it was like something really serious, and it was something from the past. So usually when past relationships get revived, that means that two partners kind of like already had a connection, or that you have written each other to basically this Akashic records that you really wanted to meet in this life for some kind of reason. And this is like when you see, like, I mean, people just going nuts after this person. But for you, I think the other things kind of like got in a way, right? Because I see here the mountain is in the house of the child that came over here. It could be, as I said, that somebody was married. Commitments have already been made, right? And so now what basically happened here, that there were, like, I mean, two people or possibly even three people, they have been startled and horrified with the situation. It was a lots of sly stuff, and I think it could have been especially the male partner that maybe was trying to wiggle out or play a game. And I kind of like, I'm not seeing so much that somebody was really dishonest, but sort of like that somebody was lying by omission. You know, and people don't tell you stuff, and not only do they not tell you something that is really important for you to know, or when they deflect the answer when you ask them something, and it's like, you're asking me this again, etc., etc., almost like a gaslighting kind of situation. This is like, which to us Aquarians, and we have these little antennas, most people don't know it, so like we have this like kind of like crap detecting antennas that just like keep going up when we hear this, and it's like king, and that kind of like really sensitizes us. And because we are so loyal, we somehow have this makeup to think that others are as well. And then there is like this rude awakening, oh, they're not. The good news is that Aquarians are air sign, and Aquarians really think through things. And even if a situation is loving, and I see this loving and happy and complicated and sexy, it was like really everything, like look at this, amazing. But the center card is the clouds, so something was, you see the clouds is then kind of like knighting the book over here. So some kind of communication, because the book is in the house of the letter, some kind of communication with somebody else. So maybe somebody was interfering, maybe there was, where are the birds, where are the birds, the birds are here, the birds. Could be a gossip, I don't know. The knowledge over here, like there was like something that somebody knew, okay, let's put it this way, that you were not privy to it. That's what I'm saying, lying by omission, right? It definitely, it was an opponent or a rival, somebody who was like really intelligent, but also the information that we were receiving was very cryptic, and hence we kind of like just decided that we cannot grow that anymore. And it looks like it was just like not a good even soil for growing anything, like with having this combination with the mountain here as well, right? But, and there is this big B-U-T with one T, not two. This person is in the house of the lilies, which falls in the house of basically the flowers, the bouquet, which is kind of talking about excitement and something really pleasurable, something really surprising. And this is in the house of the whip, that is here connecting to people, and it is in the house of the heart. So the heart and the whip. The whip is talking, and I'll show you here from a different deck to kind of like get a really good visual to what whip is all about. Whip is talking about extremely passionate. It was something, either it's going to be somebody completely new, who might be a new person in the old body, pardon me, the old person in a new body, somebody who you will recognize. Or it's going to be, which I think it's kind of like more possible, a blast from the past. Because here, having this letter and the ship, I'm wondering if there is like somebody who is either that we are longing for them and they're longing for us. Because look, they have this karma over here, the cross. I always see that as karma. I always see something is meant to be, and this is in the house of the sun, right? And the sun is in the house of the coffin. So something still did not work like all the way, because there is like something that kind of like has to end. And I really don't think it's the relationship in this stage. I really think in this case what is ending, what ended, is actually possibly restarting. with this person probably kind of like coming forward, because the lady is in the house of the crossroads. So there is going to be some kind of decision, something coming home, some communication, right? The letter is definitely words, right? And the letter is kind of knighting this house of the clouds. It could be like something, right? That could be, you know, bad news, or that we are connecting this person with bad news. But the letter is like text messages, emails, that kind of a stuff, you know, like even Twitter with the birds over here, I would say. But there is like a message from the distance over here. Also, there is something that you guys are thinking about connecting to the house. These two guys, there is like really not a connection here. There's like nothing in between. But there are like two people here who are definitely kind of like, you know, like when you think of the person and they think of you at the same time. And then you just like start thinking about them. And it looks like that something like that has been going back and forth over here. over here. Excuse me. And this person could be very verbose with this letter over here. And especially it's in the mouse house, which means that they have been very damaging with this kind of like person. And maybe, you know, maybe it's going to be just to come back to reach the closure. But definitely you guys are going to feel satisfaction of this person entering, re-entering, because something is going to get resolved. Something is going to get revived. Aquarians are going to feel really good by the end of this period. Like there is like this kind of like whole sense. You see the clover is connecting with a child. That finally there is like a full circle. And so what was in the beginning of the circle? It was the love, it was the solution, and it was the ring. So, Aquarians, who is this mysterious person? And by the way, you're also thinking about work a lot. There are kind of possibilities for getting a new job, for promotion. You're getting more minded that you want to save as much as you can. It could be a trip that you're planning, or it could be like simply that you're kind of like really deciding to kind of like move forward with new energies, and kind of like actively thinking where do you really want to go, and what, because like you're having both sun and the coffin at the same time, and the cross. So it is like, what do I want? What do I want to go toward? And what do I want to leave behind? It's kind of going to be that separation, which kind of like looks like it was messing with the energy for quite a while, because they have been kind of entangled. So my dear Aquarians, this is going to be interesting. So you definitely have an upper hand, and that's going to be awesome. So looking forward to your comments, and if you want a reading from me, please contact me via cattarot.ca, and check me out on Facebook and Instagram, and make sure to subscribe and like and share. Love you. All the best.